Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew Geraci. You may not know about this book, but you're gonna know, and it's really good. This is basically to wash out the bad taste in my mouth from the book I reviewed yesterday, the comic book adaptation of For Your Eyes Only, which was drawn by Howard Chaykin and murdered by Vinnie Coletta, totally murdered, and so Paul Grist, he's got a bit of the Mike Mignola three-quarter turn thing going on the faces. He's a great storyteller, Paul Grist. This is a collection that was in black and white. It was 12 issues of black and white. And then for a few years, it was a color book. And it was not a monthly book or bi-monthly. It was kind of like if you had it in your pull box at the comic shop, it'd be a nice surprise. I was like that with Peter Bagg. Like, he'd come out with some graphic novel I didn't hear about, or a miniseries, and it would show up because my local comic shop was always good to me. So, does he look like Union Jack? Yeah, he does. But Union Jack's one of the coolest characters ever that Marvel had done, at least in the 70s, even though it's supposed to be a character from the First World War. So this is like a variation on that. And also, there's a hint of... You get the feeling this was originally planned to be an Invaders miniseries, and maybe Marvel didn't go for it. Because this is a 2003 reprint, and at the time Marvel was eschewing all the nostalgia stuff, which maybe it's nostalgia, but it's very much in the here and the now with the art style and the way Paul Grist writes. I really took a shine to this, so I recommend it to everybody. Okay, that's it. So, first 12 issues, black and white. Then he had several issues, a lot. And he also did 5 volumes of this cop comic. It was a comic book about cops in Britain called Kane, and he was the main character. I really recommend those as well. And he did Mudman, which is a character who can make stuff out of mud in a superhero way. So, and the reason everything used to be in black and white is because it was originally a black and white series. There's so much cleverness in here. Those Brits and their cleverness, I tell you. Yesterday's heroes. Here is our main protagonist, John Smith Builder. He's just a regular Joe with a tool belt. And there is Becky Burdock, reporter. I love the black leggings. I love the clothes and the glasses. She just looks like, it's like nerd sexy, And she's yelling up and says, "Hey, my car's blocked." Love that. Hey yourself, Red. Is that your van taking up 2 spaces in the car park over there? He goes, the White Boulders van with John Smith Builder on the side? I guess that could be us. Do you realize this is for permit holders only? Thanks to you, I've just had to park in the Council City Park. That's £6 a day. And while are you listening to me? And a sign begins to fall. And check out this agility and this follow through. That is sweet. Meanwhile, he integrates music lyrics from Slade. We're All Crazy Now, and he does that a lot with the lettering. So saves her, and so who's your friend? John Smith the Builder asks. Okay, bear with me a second. I lost my place. And it cuts to 1940, where Grist's version of Captain America rescues some kid in a cave, and they're essentially the Invaders, but it's actually written better than most of the Invaders series. Even Roy Thomas is good, but he had his indulgences where his school teacher background went a little too far on some of the stuff. It's still great fun in a nostalgic term, but some of it could have been trimmed. But that's just my arrogance saying that. Sergeant States Jackstaff. Blazing Glory. Tommy Twister. I don't know who Tommy Twister's supposed to be. There was a African American kid late in. I put it under worst costumes on my episode. He was an African American kid that was introduced in Invaders number 28, about 1978, and so maybe that's what they're thinking. So Sergeant States is here. I love that. It almost has like a Guy Davis feel to it without as many lines. And I'm sure it's photo reference, but that's okay. It's like, humph. That's Americans for you, Wilson. We need help, not a circus strongman. He seems to be keeping his spirits up, Captain. So, and the staging and the storytelling is perfect. They find deep cuts in her throat. Whatever killed this woman was nothing to do with the Blitz. And they tap, tap, tap. They find something. And bats charge out. Tommy, it's up to you. I love how the visor, the tornado comes out of his visor. Perhaps we can get back to work. One question, Captain. What is it? Did anyone see where Sarge States went? So, what happened at Jack's staff? And we got Becky Burdock, Girl Reporter. I love his every issue. He treats as a first issue, but not in like the traditional way. In like, if someone steps in and they're a major character, they get their own logo, and it's fun. Even in a collection like this, it's so audacious, but it's a beautiful combination of story and art. I love that big old arm. That's just so cool. Very Mignola inspired, but it's not Mignola. So here comes my second Q. You can trust me. How about that? I guess that's short for question, kind of like the question. Three unusual people caught up in a world war where the bizarre is commonplace. They are the guardians of the gates between reality and unreality. They are the investigators of the inexplicable, the question mark crimes. They are Q. Here it comes. Great toss there. Oh, toss off. You blighter. Can I say that any more American and nerdy? You blighter. I've always loved the use of whiteout as for fog. And then, that's not Iron Man. How about this? Person running and a landing. I love that panel. Those in-between panels he puts in there are so special. So, and it turns out to be Tom the Robot Man. Did you just say vampire? And it seems disjointed, but it's not at all. I'm just skimming through this. It's tremendously fun. And look at that. Dude, check out those hands. And the way he spot blacks and just leaves that dead. Puts me in mind of early Iron Man stuff that I love. And here's another trick too. It's hard to do this kind of perspective. This is almost like security camera view, like looking up here and going down. And that's hard as shit to do and make convincing. And that's the thing. There's not a lot of detail on his art, but there's a lot of knowledge of camera angles, of physical acting, and faces and reactions. So Becky Burdock, Girl Reporter. Then along came Tom the Robot Man. Man. I'm just jumping ahead. I'll read the whole thing to you. Sergeant States is missing? Sergeant States, Jack Staff, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Blazing Glory, and Tommy Twister are the freedom fighters. And this during World War II. great. America's dithering over if they want to get involved in the war, and we go and lose their fighting foot soldier. The commander's going to have a fit after this one. So they're looking around. I'm afraid it's too late for that. Who are you? It's far too late. I am darkness. I am despair. I am the soul drinker. I am Richard Templar. And I am hungry. And we jump back again when they first meet. And small talking. So it jumps around, but you really don't get lost. It's two riders were. This is the beginning of All Along the Watchtower. And he just insinuates it in the book. And I love it, the whole graphic package, each page, and that's just really cool. Man, oh man, oh man. Those crazy ass bats, get away. So, this is the story of how I died. Another exclusive report from Becky Burdock, Girl Reporter. Approaching. Two riders were approaching. He can charge up his staff, by the way. Tommy Twister. And a stalactite falls and guts him. Kind of like how Baron Blood got gutted in Invaders number 9, I think it was. So, just really great stuff. It's definitely a nod to the Invaders, but I totally read it on a different level. It's like a parallel universe, as if the book never ended. So, the wind began to howl. What are bats? Ugh. Bramblin's son, Vampire Hunters. So you're building up a cast. You are wrong. It's never over. Sergeant Stripes is the vampire. That's why he's been missing. Oi. And he jumps about back and forth, and I really like that. Because a lot of these things, they're some of it's from different times, and some of it is happening simultaneously, and it just works. And Grist is a genius on this. It's all just one big lie. So now that that's established, I'm going to jump a little more ahead because it's a lot of pages. And it's funny because his art is deceptively simple, but it's, he knows how the eye works. He knows how whatever that, part between your nose and the eye. There's Maverick, Detective, Inspector, Maverick, Tom the Robot Man, Becky Burdock, Vampire Reporter. And as for Jack Staff, the story's not over yet. Got the canteen. His dead eyes. Yeah, it was called Dancing Elephant Press. The original issues were. And this is Q. Who the hell is Q? That's those inspectors. This is an Alan Moore type character. I said, don't turn the page. Actually, and it's also kind of like what Grant Morrison did in Animal Man, where he was mixing up the actual comics with the events that the comics are telling. So, and then we find, this is kind of cool. Sorry, I went back again. But yeah, he's like, I see the multitudes of reality unfold. When you open this comic, you open a bridge between your realities and the bridge that I learned to cross. The druid is what his name is. Come on, let me get back to Jack or Tom. Oh well, what happens is Tom is a girl, a paraplegic girl, and she ends up in the hospital, and she gets the hell away from that guy who's trying to attack her. A little bit of silhouette fun. I love that. How convincing is that? And he doesn't even have to do all like the corners. He leaves the salient stuff there. And also the expressive eyes. The spider. He's a thief with a lot of gadgets. I can't tell you how many times I've read and reread that. That's very unusual for Paul Grist, at least in this book. You killed the spider. That sort of has a Frank Miller Ronin feel to it there. Not sort of, but not quite. Oh, that Charlie Raven. In celebration of Her Royal Majesty's Golden Jubilee, the master cartoonist Mr. Paul Grist, in conjunction with Dancing Elephant Press, is proud to be able to present for your delight and edification the exploits of the greatest escapologist of the Victorian age. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one, the only, incomparable Charlie Raven. God save the Queen. I would love this to be a cartoon or an animated movie. Give it lots of breath, or make it a series of cartoons. Give it a couple seasons. There's so much that could be explored, and also you can put it in a time like this came out in the late '90s. Put it out then when not everybody has a cell phone. Give us a little mystery. Dr. X-ray Specs. Dr. Specs X-ray eyes. Love that. Silent panels that say a lot. The Claw. Becky Burdock, Vampire Reporter. So much great. And the thing is, Paul has a style that I think would be easy to animate. It's short on detail, but all the information is there to make it exciting. It's he doesn't need noodling. In fact, I wouldn't want him to change his style. So, Charlie Raven, Becky Burdock. So what do you think, everybody? You digging on this? I don't know if it's still in print, but you could probably find it. There's a tricky one going downstairs. Wow. Without like a Google sketch or some whatever they call those many images that you could pull off the internet and incorporate into your art. This was before that. I don't think a lot of artists could do that without needing a crutch. And yes, I said crutch. I know it sounds mean, but you know, little little, little self-portrait there. I like his feet just kind of dangling. So really, really good. Recommended. Highly recommended. And like I said, and there's still more material. And then he just stopped, I think, because the book never really sold that strong. And it's a drag because it's so good. And but he's gone on to do other things. Like I said, he wrote that miniseries that I was going to go in ink, but I just wasn't able to at the time. So, but anyway, I love Chris' stuff, and anytime I see new stuff from him, I gotta get it. In fact, I gotta find out what he's doing these days. I haven't really thought about it. A lot of comic book guys, we want to make a living, so you do storyboards, you do advertising art, comics is just very low paying. It's not like the 1990s where you had wads of cash and a huge budget. It's kind of threadbare these days. That's a shame. So anyway, listen to me. All I'm telling you is this is a cool comic that deserves to be read. And that's it. Take care, everybody. Bye.